Hello, welcome to the channel. It's the girl with blue eyeshadow, also known as Liz. So for today's video, we are going to be picking my top 5 eyeshadow palettes. I stole this idea from Morgan Turner and Heather Austin, who did a collab video about this, and theirs was like the top 10 palettes. Not even top 10, but like palettes, they're like, I don't even know how they said it, but like they're top palettes that they would be happy with. I think they've had 10, and I thought 10 would be too easy because I have like about 20 palettes in my collection, so I was like, well, 10's gonna be like, that's easy, I guess. 5 was like, I think pretty good. I was thinking about 3, but I don't know about 3. So if you want to see what I picked, I mean, you should keep on watching. So first up, when I was thinking like so my thought process would be like, if everything burned, no, if I had to pick, if like there was a robber and they're like, I'll let you you can keep 5, I'm taking the rest. I think that's how Morgan Turner put it. A robber is in your house and he's like, you can keep 5 out of my 20 to something. What would you pick? So I was like, well, I need to have like a nude palette with nice neutrals in it. And so usually my to-go neutrals for the longest time was in the the Modern Renaissance by Anastasia Beverly Hills, because it has that warm taupe color, which I don't think is that warm. I think it's pretty taupey and cool tone, and with Cypress Umber, like boop, 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 you know, type of deal. And I always thought that made my eyes look very nice. It gave them a nice contour. But that also has a lot of berry tones, and I just haven't recently been that into berry tones, so I thought the perfect like medium to that would be the Nabla side by side palette. Because I just think this is beautiful. I feel like these two, while they're not my favorite, like I do prefer the warm taupe shade over this beauty mark shade, I am able to achieve that kind of cooler tone contour eye look, which is kind of like my to-go eye look. And then if I needed to, I could just pop one of these shimmers in. I feel like this row right here gives me the chance to play with more warm tones. There's also nice neutrals, different types of shimmers. I like that I have a gray down here, because recently I've been playing grays, as you can see, and a black if I would need it. I don't play too much with blacks, but it's nice to have one. And I just feel like I could do a lot of looks with this and be pretty happy. So yes, that is my like kind of neutral look that I decided to put in. I feel like one of the other girls also put Nabla as well, but I can't remember. Did Kelly Gooch also do a similar video? I'm getting lost. Anyway, that would be the first one. Okay, so next up for the second palette I would pick is the Jackie Aina palette in collaboration with Anastasia Beverly Hills. Or is that revert? It's the Jackie Aina palette. Anyway, I just think this is such like a fun color story, and like when this first like was previewed, I was like not into it, but when I saw it in stores, there was something about it that was just so pretty, and I was like, let me pick this up, and I don't regret it. Like 2019 summer, I think that's right. This was like, I use this probably every single day, and I have like I have a lot of dents in this, as you can see, and I love it. I love Lituation, I love Soleil, Zam, Sponsored, Zola's, even like these great mattes, Edges and Ginger, Supreme and Pinker, and I find with this palette I can use it to make like a neutral look. It's a little more warm leaning, but using Ginger and Edges with the light hand works for me. I was like surprised when I would see people declare this, because they're like, oh, it doesn't have a good transition shade for me, and they'd be like, you know, my skin tone, and I'm like, did you try to make it work? I'm kidding. I know we all have different tastes, but I just think this is beautiful, and I think someone once said this is like a neutral palette with like a twist to it, and I really do think that. I feel like you can make neutral looks, very subtle looks, but you also have these kind of fun colors. And while I'm not the biggest fan of like purples, I really do like that, you know, I have them, so I can have fun with this palette. You know what I'm saying? It's like what I said, neutrals with a twist. So again, I would take this with me. Next up, this is where it got interesting, because I was like, I need colors, and I wasn't sure. Hold on, which one should I go with? Okay, next up, I was like, I want a Pat McGrath palette, but I didn't know which one to pick. I thought about my Mothership one, but I decided against it because I feel like that has a lot of neutrals in it. I already have the Jackie Aina, and the Nabla palette. So I'm like, I feel like I should be good. And while I do love the blitz shades in that one, and the palette I'm picking actually is Interstellar Icon, and it does not have those blitz shades, but it does have these beautiful, like that beautiful blue, this kind of neutrally, it has almost a green kind of undertone in it, and this, which I just think are beautiful. Hold on, can I give you another swatch? Like, they're just so, I don't know if it's gonna work, but I just love, I guess I can swatch these for you. Like, it's just so beautiful. And I wanted to have like a blue, like one of my favorite blue shimmers, which is one of these is my favorite. I wanted to include one of my favorite blue shimmers, which Hypnotique, is that Hypnotique? Yes, Hypnotique is one of my favorite blue shimmers. There was another one in the Francasia palette. I can't remember what that one's called, but that's another blue I love, but I don't love the mattes in that, so I feel like I'd kind of be wasting it. And I thought, since these have like are mostly shimmers, Blue Blick is kind of like more of a satin, I would say, that this would be a nice, this would be nice to also include, because I just think it's so beautiful. And I have a very nice blue shimmery tone. So yeah, that's why I picked this one. I was going back and forth with this one, and maybe at the end I'll put my honorable mentions of why I was debating, because I feel like this color is one that I can probably find in my other palettes that I picked, like the two neutrals I picked, and maybe this one is, well, maybe, no, I don't think I have a color like that, but I don't know, I just like, I want to include that blue is just so pretty, and I feel like it's pretty unique, and when the light hits it, like when it's like sundowny time, slow burn, what's that called? You know what I'm talking about. It just looks so beautiful. I love it. So yes, this is going with me. Interstellar Icon. I don't know if I said the name. Now, this might be controversial. I feel like this was controversial in my head when I put it in my top 10. No, when I ranked all my palettes of last year. This, I think, was at the top, if I remember correctly. And it's the Dose of Colors Cutting Edge palette. And you might be thinking, Liz, why aren't you, like, more colorful? Like, why don't you have more colorful palettes? And I'm just like, I like this. I like that it's colorful. I feel like this tone and this one and these two greens are the greens that I personally like. I tend not to like forest greens or what are other types of greens? Like some grungy greens kind of go a little too like gray on me, if that makes sense. But I find that these look very nice, and I don't use this palette enough because and when I start using it, like when I put it in my little rotation, I love the looks I come up with. So yes, this is coming with me during the robbery. Because I feel like this is like a nice use of greens. I feel like this would pair well with the Anastasia palette. Yes, so this is coming with. The last palette, which might be controversial, is the Blue Moon palette by Colourpop. I am the girl with blue eyeshadow, and I couldn't just have one blue. I would have to have a whole palette dedicated to it. I thought about bringing the Huda Beauty one, the Huda Beauty Sapphire palette, which is also another blue palette, but I decided against it because my favorite shades in this palette are like these kind of pastel-y blues, so that these three right here. And I feel like the Huda Beauty has more like sparkly, metallic, shimmery blues than this one has those matte blues. This was in competition with a couple. I thought about replacing her with this Fun Size palette by Sugar Pound. So it does have this blue, which is similar to the one in this palette that I love a lot, and I would have other options. But I find that I just like these blues better. Like I can just put these all over my lid and do like a liner, and it looks really cute. This one had a lot of competition because I also thought, and I think the reason I thought of this one was because I think Heather Austin mentioned this one. It is the Club Nebula palette by Kaleidos, and I still am like, maybe I should include it. The only reason I'm not including it is that I like the topper shades, but they're just not my personal favorite. And these three down here, I feel like I wouldn't get enough use of. I don't know if you see where I am at. And I feel like if my collection is getting stolen, I'm not looking for deep mattes, even though I like a deep matte. I don't know. I just feel like I would have more fun with blues. Let me show you the other. I'll show you the other one that kind of like the honorable mentions I mentioned back here. This one in Cutting Edge was also in competition. I think Morgan Turner mentioned this palette as well. I felt like that, I'm trying to cover up the mirror so I don't, but the top middle shade I feel like are very similar. This one I think is a little more blue, this is more purpley. And I was like, well, this is like my favorite shade out of this palette, but I do like that other, what's the other color? Moonlight is also very nice. And I thought that Trappa and Handbook could also replace Cutting Edge, but I decided against it just because I think I would get more used out of, I would like, it's neutrally, but it has, like, I like neutrals with a twist. If it's going to be a neutral, I want it with a twist. But I'm still thinking about this one. This one was pretty high up, and then I was like, maybe I'm just thinking about it because Morgan Turner mentioned it. I don't know. Maybe I need to play with it some more. Another one that also gotta know is the Sydney Grace Temptalia collection collaboration. Again, these blues almost made it, but Hypnotique kind of beat both of them. And I think I wanted a little more matte. And this is very shimmer heavy, and I feel like I didn't need that many shimmers if my collection is being robbed from me. So that is why the Blue Moon palette is being put in this top 5. So hold on, let's do a little inventory. So we have side by side, very beautiful, very neutral. Hopefully I didn't break. Side by side, very beautiful, very neutral. Cutting Edge by Dose of Colors, very beautiful, very, I feel like this is not that neutral, like it's very green grungy tone, but it's a very nice green grungy tone. Like I could just put this color all over my eye and I'm happy. And it's like kind of colorful, you know what I'm saying? The Jackie Aina palette, neutral with a twist. It's fun. I like it. I have pinks in there. I have some greens. I have purples if I ever get bored. This will be fun. Of course, I gotta put up Pat McGrath palette. Hypnotique is just so beautiful, so pretty. I love her. And of course, I have to live up to my name and have a blue palette, which is the Blue Moon palette. So yes, that is what I picked. This leads to the end of our video. Let me know what would your top 5 palettes be. Maybe not top 5, maybe top 3. Put them down below. Let me know what you thought. Did you think my choices were bad? Would you have picked one of the replacements? Let me know. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Thank you. Bye.